So for this project, I actually decided to go for a stone cage. The stone cage represents the stone that obviously we carried throughout a lot of the tutu book that we read, and so I grabbed some aluminum wire that I had, as well as a stone size that I really liked. That one's an amethyst, and some necklace wire that I also had laying around. And I decided to make a really flexible cage that I can put any stone that I like into, so whether that's bringing a stone with me or finding a stone that I really like, I can take it with me wherever I go. I chose the stone because the stone was such a unique aspect in the book, and a lot of the rituals that we performed throughout the semester. I felt like they really resonated with me because having something physical to represent all of those thoughts and feelings, or like physical to talk to in some of the exercises, like the later ones, felt really substantial, and it's something that I'd like to take with me moving forward. So that's why I decided to make the stone cage. Specifically, I decided to call it a cage because it is a part of nature, and I thought that was kind of interesting because a lot of the time in the exercises we would put the stones back, or take our one stone at the end of the book, we would put it back with nature. So I guess it's called a cage in this specific case because I want to be able to set it free along with the hurt and the sorrows that I attached to it. So in a sense, I want to free myself from those hurts that I experienced utilizing the stone as a tool. And while reflecting on this, so while I made this little stone cage, I really wanted to think about the physical connections of people and how forgiving has physical impacts on other people. Not always physical, but other physical beings in the world. Like how forgiving someone else can significantly impact your entire relationship as well as your relationship with other people. And throughout the semester, the stone kind of represented that. I think we've all heard the phrase like, "Oh yeah, I'm your rock," and I think that definitely applies here because it quite beautifully directly correlates to being a rock. And of course, no one is actually a rock, so no one's always exactly the same all of the time, like a stone is. So I felt like it was a good thing to keep with me, because if I can keep that physical reminder that things aren't always the same and people aren't always the same, and forgiveness is essential to keep changing both myself and changing the lives of those around me, then I can really take home the meaning of what that stone is. This was actually very hard for me to decide on. I considered painting a box of some kind. I very much like my physical metaphors. I love puns. So when I was considering the project, I thought about paintings, or maybe making an origami box of some kind, but I felt like the stone just kept coming back to me, and I wanted to do something with this stone because of this book. I think I've reconnected with some of the rock collection that I already had, and it kind of reminded me of why I picked out those rocks in the first place. And so taking those into my hands again, into the forefront of what I was trying to accomplish really felt like everything came full circle.